Well, it's Kaiju movie time again, but it doesn't matter if Toho claims this movie, because I got a sponsor. So go ahead, Toho. Do your... Oh, wait a minute. Toho didn't make this movie. Whatever, I'll still use my sponsor anyway. Thanks, Squarespace. That's right, Squarespace. If you're planning to finally launch that new business, or maybe you just want to show off your passion, Squarespace can help you do it. Whether you're into photography, painting, cooking, or hey, maybe you're just into nerdy stuff like me, you can build a website to market yourself with Squarespace's easy-to-use design tools. There's dozens of ready-to-go templates to choose from, you never have to download, upgrade, or install anything ever, and you're reformatted for mobile devices automatically. You can also use the surplus of marketing tools and analytics Squarespace gives you access to, so you can see where your site's visitors are coming from, how long they're staying for, and what pages are the most popular. So if you're interested in joining the thousands of other people who've used Squarespace to make their dreams a reality, just go to squarespace.com/BrandonTenold and sign up for your free trial. Then when your site's looking good and ready for launch, use the promo code BrandonTenold for 10% off your first purchase. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, lots of people know Godzilla's the king of the monsters and Toho are the kings of kaiju movies, but it's important to remember that there are plenty of Japanese monster movies not made by Toho. There was of course the Gamera series made by Daiei, The Last Dinosaur made by Tsuburaya, and Toei Studios gave us Legend of the Dinosaurs, for better or for worse. But the movie I'm going to talk about today is one that even a lot of giant monster fans probably haven't heard of. Well, it's not like that's ever stopped me before. I did War God and the Hanuman movies, pretty sure I can handle this one. Gappa the Triphibian Monster, or Gappa the Triphibian Monsters, or Monster from a Prehistoric Planet, which doesn't make any sense since the movie takes place entirely on Earth, is a 1967 kaiju film that has the distinction of being the only giant monster movie produced by Japan's Niketsu Studios, who would later go on to make movies like Love Hunter, Co-Ed Report, Yuko's White Breasts, and Sex Rider, Wet Highway. Okay, they missed a golden opportunity to combine those movies with giant monsters. That way they could have predicted the internet. As you might have guessed from the fact that they only made one, Gappa didn't become nearly as popular as Godzilla, or even guys like Gamera, although some people might have caught it on late-night TV over the years. So let's see if Gappa's worthy of another look, or belongs in the giant monster dustbin of history. Gappa, brought to you by Please Don't Flag This Video Productions. So the movie begins kinda like a kaiju version of an Indiana Jones movie, and considering Crystal Skull already introduced aliens, they should put some giant monsters in the next one. But here's something Indy didn't have, a rockin' surf music theme. Kaiju Gappa, Gappa. Alright, this theme song is only in the Japanese version, but I'm not really sure why. Gamera got his own surf theme song. Why the hell doesn't Godzilla have a surf theme? Anyway, like a lot of Japanese monster movies, we begin with a ship on the ocean that's on a secret mission, and it must be a really important scientific one involving test tubes and geometry and stuff. Okay, actually they're working for a magazine publisher who wants to create a new theme park.
Like it? I call this Playmate Land.
Alright, well better have your lawyers ready, because I don't think Hugh Hefner's gonna like that name.
Here in this pond will be hot spring water with alligators. Rare tropical birds and animals will wander freely through the park among the visitors, and people will feel they are really in the tropics.
Wait, so this place is called Playmate Land and it's just a glorified zoo? That's like making a children's play park and calling it Hustlerville.
And on the stage we will have primitive dances from the islands.
Alright, well looks like some saggy National Geographic titties are the best you're gonna get at this place. So the boat we saw at the beginning is on a mission to bring back exotic animals for the park, although they may have found more than they bargained for. Hey, congratulations, pal, you hooked an Ultraman episode.
A great big monster! The tail is bigger than this ship!
Don't be stupid. There's no fish like that.
No, but there are lobsters that big.
Oh!
As you can probably tell, the guy in the striped shirt was hired to be the ship's comic relief, but hey, at least there isn't a kid on board. Yet. And hey, what's this? An island that definitely has an active volcano that looks like it's about to explode? That seems like a good place to stop.
Then let's start with that island.
I was just kidding!
If you run into trouble, return to the ship at once.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, what possible danger could there be on this island? And they're gonna find more than just exotic animals. Turns out there's people here too, including a little boy wearing island face.
Hey, I'm sure I've been here before.
Oh yeah? Was it when you were looking for King Kong or Mothra? And looks like the natives don't take kindly to explorers around here.
They're cannibals.
Hey, that's racist! But considering what we're wearing, we'll let it slide. And good news, they're the type of natives that immediately start worshipping you like gods and throw you a welcome party.
Gappa no angry now. Gappa happy.
What's Gappa mean?
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about, just like that volcano that's definitely active.
Professor, why don't we take them back to Japan?
My people born here. We die here.
And you're gonna if you don't get out of there before the volcano explodes. Before it does though, let me give you a tour of the island. I don't know if I can get a Gappa for your zoo, but I could probably get you a kookaburra. Or whatever the hell that was.
That almost scared me.
And good news, there's probably some precious artifacts on this island you can steal and take with you too.
It's the same. Just like the idols on Easter Island.
Okay, if you say so. Bad news, the volcano caused an earthquake and destroyed the statue. Good news, it opened a cave you can go explore in. That seems like a safe thing to do when there's earthquakes happening.
Gappa angry.
Don't worry. Go get the lieutenant.
And wipe that damn shoe polish off your body, will you? You look like an asshole. I don't know about Gappas, but there might be some boogans in this cave. And just because they're exploring doesn't mean we can't have a little romance, even if it's awkward as hell.
I'm scared.
Then go back to Tokyo and learn to cook. Marry some little office worker. Have babies. Stay home and wash diapers.
Yeah, and stop voting too while you're at it.
I'm not being sarcastic.
Yeah, well, I am. Looks like you're not the first people to enter this cave. By the looks of it, Fred Flintstone just finished a meal here. Didn't get to his breakfast, though.
Looks like an egg.
Huh? Yeah, I never saw a chicken egg that big before.
Hey, just like the volcano and earthquakes, I'm sure it's nothing you need to worry about. While they're not looking, the egg ends up hatching, and whatever was in there left a trail of monster birth behind. Ugh. Hey, there's the monster.
It's all right.
No touch! Gappa angry! No touch!
Shut up, Kid Trudeau. We came here to capture weird animals, and that is exactly what we're gonna do.
You people come. Gappa, now angry.
That's why we're asking you to come to Japan with us.
It's no use. These people will never leave this island.
Wait, these people? Oh, I get it. It's because we're wearing blackface, isn't it? Besides, there's no need to worry about the volcano. The head sciencey guy even says so.
It's all right. This island has been here for a long time. So you see, it's not going to sink.
Well, can't argue with that logic. If something's been around, that means it'll always exist. Just look at dinosaurs or Toys R Us. And they don't need to worry about taking the Gappa either.
I'll tell you what Gappa really is. Bones. Bones of animals that lived 1,000,000 years ago. And they're all dead.
Yeah, just because we captured one of these things alive, it's not like its parents are still around. Breaking news, its parents are definitely still around.
Those damn explorers took our baby before we had a chance to eat him ourselves. They'll pay for this injustice.
It only looks like a monster, but it's really cute.
Well, she's not wrong. As far as baby kaiju go, it's a hell of a lot cuter than this abomination against nature. The scientist also wants to study it, but the magazine publisher only wants to use it for his theme park, even though I think anyone who goes to a place called Playmate Land and just sees this thing is going to be disappointed. Then again, if the internet's taught me anything, if you slap a G-string on Gappa, I'm sure somebody out there would want to fuck it. However, the Playmate magazine dude has some doubts about Gappa's authenticity.
Maybe they all got sunstroke down there. And all they have is a burnt lizard from the volcano.
Just a burnt lizard? Spending so much money over a stupid burnt lizard. Stupid burnt lizard!
Okay, I can't tell if he's saying burnt lizard or bird lizard, but if it is bird lizard... Yeah, that's pretty much what Gappa is. Back on the island, the natives might want to get the hell out of there. Not only because of the volcano, but because Mommy and Daddy Gappa are pissed. I changed my mind. Just because I was born here doesn't mean I want to die here. Regarding the monster suits, they're pretty standard for a 60s Japanese monster movie, and much like the baby, the parents are more cute than scary. Although I will say these suits are a hell of a lot better than the one from Zat. Meanwhile, the baby Gappa reaches Japan, but the magazine publisher still doesn't believe they have a real monster.
Trying to make a fool out of me with a crazy story of a burnt lizard.
Just you wait till you see what we have.
Why? What do you got in there? Holy shit, it's a bird lizard!
I don't intend to keep the story of this baby Gappa a secret forever. Playmate magazine will feature it in the next issue.
Gappa will be our next centerfold, but it'll be done real tastefully. We won't show open cloaca. The scientist, Tenoka, wants to tell the world about Gappa, but the reporter, Hiroshi, wants to keep it a secret, which is really, ethical, I guess. In the meantime, though, the scientist gets to study Gappa, which apparently means putting a Tesla coil dunce cap on it.
1.5 feet in 1 week. If it keeps growing like this, how big will it get?
Well, probably big enough to destroy Tokyo would be my guess. The reporter also drops by to say hello, and randomly be an asshole to a Toko, apparently.
Go look in the mirror. You're only 22, but you're getting a lot of wrinkles.
Okay, you're writing an article on negging or something? Piss off, will ya? The scientist also makes an important discovery about the Gappa.
What's it mean?
These waves resemble a bird's.
Well, that's no surprise. We did already establish that it's a bird lizard. Oh, and he also says that its parents might also be able to track its location, but I'm sure that's no big deal. Damn, Baby Gappa is getting so big he's starting to break the blue screen.
But it's weird. It really is a monster.
You're just figuring this out now? Meanwhile, an American submarine goes near the island and picks up the little island boy, and not only is he not dead, but the water didn't even wash off his makeup.
Gappa's parents, both angry, spitting fire.
I don't know what he's saying.
Why not? He's speaking English. If you were wondering why the Gappas are called Triphibian Monsters, it's because not only can they go on land and sea like Godzilla, but they can also fly. Which I guess Godzilla can do too, now that I think of it.
Do you think Gappa's parents could fly?
The wings wouldn't be developed. I don't think they could fly.
Well, you're clearly wrong, science boy. Oh shit, looks like the monsters have finally made it to Japan. And they're so terrifying that even Japanese Buddy Holly here is weirded out by them.
Gappa, Gappa, hey, motherfuckers.
Now at this point you may be thinking to yourselves, hang on a second, a movie where people capture a baby monster so they can put it on display for profit, and then its bigger parents come to destroy a city so they can rescue it? Where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, that's where. That's right, everybody. This movie is essentially a Japanese remake of Gorgo. The only big difference here is that there's 2 parent monsters this time instead of just 1. And what's really weird about this is that Gorgo was considered by a lot of people to just be a British version of Godzilla, which was itself heavily influenced by the beast from 20,000 Fathoms. So it is interesting to see how giant monster movie influences travel across the world. And with that in mind, I wonder if there's a Turkish knockoff of this movie. So with the Gappa monsters tearing up Japan, that means it's up to some military stock footage to come to the rescue. Regarding the monsters' rampage, I love how casually this one knocks over a building. It's almost like he's saying, yeah, that's right, what are you gonna do about it, bitch? Alright, we've already seen that the Gappas can fly, so what other powers do they have? Okay, so they basically have Godzilla's atomic breath, just with a different sound. Alright, they're already copying a Godzilla knockoff, might as well put a bit of the real thing in there. And as you probably guessed, the army is completely powerless to stop these things. Well, you know what they say, hell hath no fury like a parent looking for their child, especially when they're hundreds of feet tall and can shoot death beams. Oh, and they also destroy a pagoda, because come on, you can't have a Japanese monster movie without a pagoda getting destroyed. It's like a rule. Honestly, I'm surprised Japan has any left at this point. After destroying some buildings, the parents decide to chill out for a bit in the lake. You know, considering the country's being destroyed, maybe we should tell people about the baby monster, especially since the new issue of Playmate magazine's out and Gappa's been named Play Monster of the Year. The army better think of something quick.
If we could only get them back on land, we could use missiles.
Yeah, you already tried missiles earlier and they didn't do shit. Think of something else.
There's one way to get them out. Gappa are extremely sensitive to certain sounds. Listen.
Gotcha. What we need to do is make a giant chalkboard, then find another monster to scrape its nails on it. Oh hey, look at that. Kenny Al Jolson made it all the way to the lab where Gappa is being held. They also insinuate that Gappa has some sort of a connection to children. Hey, come on, movie, you're already ripping off Gorgo, no need to tread on Gamera's domain. Meanwhile, the army prepares some sound equipment to use on the monsters in the lake, although considering they now know about the baby at this point, you would think the army would just force the Playmate guy to give it back to him. But I guess annoying them with noise pollution works too. And in addition to the monster plot, there's also a love triangle. Apparently.
In that cave on the island, I felt that we were the only two alive in the world. I wanted to be with you all my life.
Yeah. Romance is great and everything, but can we please get back to the giant monsters? Besides, Hiroshi, I don't think you're getting any tonight.
I wanted to be with you all my life.
Koyanagi.
Now, I don't. I hate you and I hate Mr. Tanaka.
Jeez, is it because of the wrinkles remark earlier? I'm sorry, okay? You are getting a little fat, though. Might want to keep on top of that. The little island boy gets there, too, and he even brought a hybrid of Donald Pleasance and Wallace Shawn with him.
You must send baby back now. Then Gappa no be angry.
Nice suggestion, kid, but on the other hand... nah. Instead, they're gonna blast the Gappas with a sound no living creature can withstand. Good news, the sound caused the monsters to get out of the lake. Bad news, now the lake's coming to you. Great, not only are the Gappa monsters still on the rampage, but they've even got the power to become transparent. What the hell is the army gonna do?
Atami and Kawaguchi were very badly damaged, and even missiles can't stop them.
Again, you should have already known that. Even worse, not only did they fuck up a pagoda earlier, but now the monsters are destroying power lines. All they need to do now is find a subway train and they'll have the Kaiju movie trifecta. You know, after giving it some careful consideration, maybe we should just give the baby back to him.
That's a stupid idea. After all our trouble. I won't send it back!
Okay, again, now that everyone knows about the baby Gappa, the army could just force this guy to give it back. A theme park called Playmate Land should probably be filled with naked models instead of giant monsters anyway.
If giving back the baby makes those two monsters go away, not only I, but you too, will be blamed for this disaster.
How are you not getting blamed already? Eventually, though, he agrees to give the baby Gappa back after some pleading from his daughter. Plus, it's a smart business move. Not many people are gonna come to your theme park if the entire country's been destroyed. And they decide to transport him in the most Japanese monster movie way possible by airlifting him with balloons. Hey, they already took the minstrel show natives from King Kong vs. Godzilla. Might as well also rip off this part. Just in time, too. Not only have the parent monsters reached an industrial area, but by the looks of it, they're getting high on Japan's gas supply too. Seriously, just look at how red their eyes are getting. Hey, come on, don't hog it all. You gotta leave some for Hedera. Alright, look, we brought your baby back, baby back, baby back. Now would you please go home already?
No good. They can't hear the cries.
Well, maybe if you didn't deafen them with noise earlier, you wouldn't be in this situation. Not to worry, though. You can use the recordings you made when you had Baby Gappa hooked up to that weird helmet thingy earlier. Let's see. Pagoda, power lines, an industrial area. What did we forget? Oh, a submarine! You can't have a kaiju movie without destroying a submarine. And they even showed one earlier. Damn it, we missed it. Eventually, the parents hear the recording of the baby's cries, and not a moment too soon, because they are flagrantly ignoring this place's no smoking sign. There you go, you found your baby again. And unlike Godzilla's illegitimate bastard offspring, this one isn't making stupid donkey noises. This does have one thing in common with Son of Godzilla, though, in that it has a much more sentimental ending than your typical giant monster movie. At last, now I know, even a kaiju can cry. And so the Gappa family went back home where they continued to terrorize the locals until the island was destroyed by a volcano. The end. Well, okay, that's not quite the end. The movie does also give us this. Itoko decides to quit her job and go with Hiroshi, which leads to this inspiring final message.
I guess I'm just an ordinary woman. I should stay home. Marry an office worker and wash diapers.
Hey, the Gappa monsters got reunited with their child and a woman learned her place? This really is a happy ending. This movie is a good example of a mid-level kaiju movie. Not the worst, but nothing too special either. The angle of having the monsters be angry parents looking for their child is pretty unique, or at least it would be if it hadn't been swiped from Gorgo, and personally I thought Gorgo was more well-made and entertaining than this one. It does get to the monster stuff pretty early, and even though there's a kid, he's thankfully not that annoying, even if the blackface is pretty dated. So it is worth a look for giant monster fans, but if you want to introduce somebody to these types of movies, I think Gorgo's a better pick. But both movies teach us a valuable lesson, which is that you should never harm a giant monster's child. Unless, of course, it's Minya, because fuck that donkey voice piece of shit. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.
Something smells.
Huh? What does?